What's happening, everyone? It's DK Priori, and welcome back to another episode of Dark Souls 3 Cinders. So, we are at the Kiln of the First Flame. We've made it to the Soul of Cinder, sort of. Here we go. Ah, look at that. The bleeding sun. Such a cool image. What the hell was that? Oh shit. Lord Erectus? Erectus? Fuck me. Don't do it, Lord Erectus. Wow. That shield ain't fucking around, that spear is not fucking around. Dude can barely move, but he can hit hard. Look at him edge walking. Andy, wow. Lord Erectus, not a joke. Jesus. Need to be careful here. Oh, he's hit me with something that makes me, like, super slow. He blocked just in time there. Yeah, he goes down in the end. Lord Erectus with the giant's halberd and the giant shield. A worthy opponent indeed. Here we are. The Kiln of the First Flame. Obviously the bonfire down there goes to the Dreg Heap, I believe. As I've said in a previous episode, I'm not going to do the DLC unless people come forward and say do the DLC, and then we'll crack on with it. But right now, this could be the last episode of the Let's Play, depending on how savage Soul of Cinder is to fight. It does a lot of damage, that's for sure. Oh my god. Okay, so he can basically three-shot me. Ah, shit. Yep. Okay. This may not be the last episode of the Let's Play, because that was fucking horrible. And my buff wore off extremely quickly. Wow. Wow. Okay. We have a serious problem. Not that we just lost 250,000 souls, That's not the problem. The problem is, I can barely hit this fuck. Like, he's just ripping into me. Like nobody's business. So fucking hard. Yeah. What the hell have they done to Soul of Cinder in this mod? I know this is New Game Plus, but he hits far too hard. Like, they could have just put a bunch of dogs in with him, you know, or a bunch of Lothric Knights, you know, this mod is a fan of doing that. Or a cleric that'll heal him up, some shit like that. No, just buff his health. I suppose that's better, that's preferable, really. It's gonna make this a big challenge. I'm gonna have to pick my hits strategically and focus on dodging. Like that. Just chip at him. Okay, basically can't heal. Now my strategy when he goes into pyro mode is to just run away, because his curved sword, you're lucky if you can dodge it properly. He's not curved sword anymore. Come on! Is this for real? So it looks like we had the Nameless King special in the last episode, where we just took attempts at Nameless King, and a few hours later I managed to do it. Now it looks like we're going to have the same with Soul of Cinder. This is just going to be a video of attempts, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan. You know, I wanted to do my review at the end while the credits roll. We're probably not going to have time to do that now. Oh, for fuck's sake. that's the first time I've ever been caught in a soul stream. Wait, he's a pyromancer now. How can he just be shoving back up crystal soul spears, crystal soul, whatever, homing soul mats? I'm down to 2 Estus already. Oh my god. Basically, as soon as you need to start healing, he will fuck you up. He will 3-shot you, 2-shot you sometimes. As soon as you get hit and you need to heal, he's not having it. Okay guys, so as you can see by my ember count, I've gone down from 99 to 25. If you include the ember that I already had up before I started this boss, that means I've spent 75 attempts trying to beat Soul of Cinder through this mod on New Game Plus. It's not happening. Attempt after attempt after attempt, I just get buttered, and I've decided it's not my level of skill for the game. I don't need to get good. I'm a veteran of this game. I know it like the back of my hand. I've played it. I've ploughed hundreds of hours into it. I've done a Soul Level 1 run, and I just feel like the difficulty has been inflated to the point where it's unbalanced with this boss anyway, and it being the last boss of the game makes it all the more, well, it leaves a salty taste in my mouth. So I'm actually going to stop here. This will be the last episode of the Let's Play. I'll leave you with my impressions of the mod, and we'll start with the good stuff. So firstly, the new content, it's amazing. It's just brilliant, you know. The Bloodborne weapons, the Demon Souls weapons, the Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2 weapons, the spells, the rings that have all been added, the NPCs, like adding the Pursuer and adding all these new NPCs. When you get to Archdragon Peak, there's like a gang of dragon cultists that all drop dragon weapons. It's great. It's really fresh, and it does add, you know, a whole new aspect to the game. The fact that you can ascend weapons and upgrade them with Primordial Titanite, you can refight bosses. It's all just good stuff. The changing of the bonfire locations, which in certain areas, that once you've played the game so much like I have, and you've become used to bonfires being in a certain location, you make runs in a specific order. You can't do that now, especially in places like Lothric Castle, where the central bonfire has been completely shifted away, and you've got a really combat heavy section to get through. It just ups the ante, and it really makes you rethink the levels. Just something simple like that, it's changing the bonfire locations, makes you rethink how you approach the levels, and I love that. My issue with this mod came when I accidentally went into New Game Plus. Now, first of all, that shouldn't even be a feature. You should not be able to enter New Game Plus without a proper prompt to say, look, you're about to begin a new journey, don't do it if you don't want to. That didn't happen. I literally ran up to a tree, thought it was a seed of the giant tree would drop, clicked through the prompt, which is right at the bottom of the screen, and it just plunged me straight into New Game Plus. Even the base game doesn't do that. You click begin next journey and then it pops up in the center of the screen, are you sure you want to begin your next journey? This mod doesn't do that. It throws you straight in, and at that point I started to really dislike the mod. I became unhappy playing through the rest of it. Because you see, with this mod, what it does is it makes New Game Plus more difficult by doing two things. One, it increases the number of annoying enemies. It doesn't make enemies any harder, it just makes them more numerous, and that's fucking annoying, and that made me just want to run through the game, speedrun it, get to the end. So I become dissatisfied with the mod at that point. Secondly, when you get to the later game bosses, it pumps their health up something stupid. So much so that you spent all this time and effort making a build that's supposed to hit really fucking hard, that suddenly the tickling bosses, as you can see against Soul of Cinder, this weapon right here, even though it's doing well over 1,000 damage, it hits Soul of Cinder like a fucking katana, like a dex weapon. It tickles his health pool because he's got so much health. And because it's a two-phase boss fight, you're basically blown through the entirety of your Estus before you even reach the second phase. I had to forge a shit ton of divine blessings, like 80 of them, as a backup heal for when I got to the second phase, because I'd always run out of Estus before the Gwyn's theme had even kicked in. Like, they've given, when I looked it up, they've given the New Game Plus version of Cinder something like 30,000 HP. Come on. And the fact that his hits take you for like a third of your health, but he can still buff. You manage to whittle him down, but he puts a health regen on. He keeps his magic buffs and his homing soul masses no matter what phase he's in. So if he goes into the magic phase, he puts his homing soul mass up. You beat that phase, he goes into the miracle phase or the pyromancer phase, he'll still keep the homing soul masses popping up. It's just stupid. There is an absolute difference between making something more challenging and making something shit in your face unbalanced. And Soul of Cinder in this mod is shit in your face unbalanced, and I don't like it, and I've not had fun with it. It's been a hard slog for me to even put in these 75 attempts. After 10 attempts I was like, I'm ready to fuck this off, because this is just poor. This is poor. And what I liked about the older versions of the mod, or at least the new game version of the mod, is that if you wanted extra challenge, if you wanted extra difficulty, you could add that in optionally. You know, you could inflict curses upon yourself to make enemies hit harder, to make them regenerate health, to make you get less souls, to make more enemies appear in the game. You could activate them all optionally. But the problem with New Game Plus in this mod is that when you get to the late game bosses, especially Cinder, Soul of Cinder, that challenge isn't optional. If you want to finish the game, you better make sure you've got like 400-500 embers stocked up, because this boss is an absolute unbalanced piece of shit, and it's very badly thought out. So overall, I'll give the mod a 7 out of 10. New game is excellent. It's you know, there's enough there for you to sink your teeth into and have a different experience. New Game Plus, not even worth touching. In fact, somebody warned me on Reddit that even the new game version of the mod inflated the boss's health pool so much that they stopped enjoying the mod by the end of the game. and I ignored that warning. I should have heeded it. I should have prepared myself. I didn't. I ignored it. And here I am, right at the end of the game, not being able to finish it. For the first time in any playthrough I've done of this game, in the hundreds and hundreds of hours I've put into Dark Souls 3, I can't finish it. And I'm bitter about that. What I actually did was I looked at the changelog for the new version of the mod, and after about 20 or 30 attempts I updated to 1.71, which is the latest version of the mod. So I was on 1.65, I updated to 1.71, and what they said in the changelog was that they decreased the endgame boss's resistances but increased their health again, like they needed it. But the idea being is that with less resistance, stronger builds like the one I've put together with this insane high damage weapon, it would still hit like a truck. It doesn't. It tickles, because in reducing their resistances they've increased the boss's health pool again, and that increase in health completely mitigates any damage that you do extra because of their lack of resistance. So I still feel like I'm tickling Soul of Cinder with this weapon that's a plus 15. And by the way, in the later versions of the mod, you can't even get to plus 15 without beating either the New Game Plus version of Soul of Cinder or the Nightmare version of Soul of Cinder. And that is, well, as you've seen through my experience, a hell of a task. I commend anybody that manages it. It makes me wonder if the mod creators have even sat down and played this, because Soul of Cinder is so unbalanced, and it is completely, the latter portion of New Game Plus in this mod has completely ruined my enjoyment of it. You could probably tell through, if you stuck with the Let's Play all the way through, you could probably tell that my mood and my demeanour was getting more and more unhappy at playing the game, and that's because it just felt unbalanced. But anyway, my rant's over. I haven't got time to spend the next week trying to make attempts on Soul of Cinder for 5 hours a day. I've got better things to do. I've got other videos to do. I've got other content to create. I've got a family. I'm not into that. I don't enjoy it. I've not enjoyed the last 30-35% of this mod. I was very unhappy that I ended up in New Game Plus without a finished build, and I'm very unhappy that I'm fighting Soul of Cinder and he's so unbalanced that I can't beat him. And I won't beat him. And it's not that I won't beat him because he's impossible to beat, because I wholeheartedly believe if I kept going I would beat him. I just can't be bothered to keep going because it's so unenjoyable. So this mod, 7 out of 10. By all means play the New Game version of the mod. Don't go into New Game Plus. It's a fucking shit show and it's not fun. So yeah, with that, I've got more content coming, shorter videos, no Let's Plays. The Let's Play's done now. So keep your eyes peeled. I've been DK Priori. Peace.